Hello, and welcome to the Fagan Park, Garden of Many Nations audio tour. You should currently be standing up the top of a hill with a sign labelled a park for the people to your immediate left, looking northeast towards a pond in the distance. As we start walking now, we will be following the trail down towards the pond, staying to the left at any intersections. Please, begin your walk. The Garden of Many Nations, as it currently stands, was opened on the 5th of November 1988, following Fagan's Park's acquisition by the Hornsby Shire Council. The council had the park donated to them in 1980 by Bruce Fagan, the last surviving member of the Fagan family in Australia. William Fagan, an Irishman, was the first of his family to migrate to Australia as a free settler in 1848, becoming a pioneer in the citrus industry after purchasing a 70-acre property in Arcadia and growing a family and a citrus orchard on the land. Throughout the years, William's children would take over the farm, increasing the success of the business for many years. Unfortunately, the Great Depression took its toll on the industry and saw the Fagan family cutting back its operations gradually, and eventually taking growth in other avenues, developing within the cattle breeding and dairy industry. As the park stands today, it is a garden of many nations in both the physical plans and infrastructure in place to mimic the environments of different countries around the world, but also in the people that inhabit the environment. I'm sure if you look around now, you will see a vast array of different people also inhabiting their park, making it a true reflection of the growth Australia as a whole has had in becoming such a multicultural giant garden. Welcome to your first stop, African Garden. On your left, you will see a gravel trail welcoming you to the African Garden. Take a look at the plants surrounding you as you walk in and give them a feel. Become one with nature and imagine yourself being taken away to Africa. As we continue down the trail, you will see a hut in front of you. Why don't you walk inside? Trace the floor with your feet and hear the sound echo around you. What do you take of this structure? Does it seem authentic? Well, why don't we find out? Give the wall a knock. That's right, it's hollow. Definitely not made out of rock or mud or anything naturally found. This area was originally designed to be an amphitheatre, where performances or group events would be able to be held for the local community. It seems, however, a larger focus was paid to the natural environment you see here today. Spend as much time as you would like here. When you are ready, exit the garden and head down along the original walking path, continuing left. Hey, that's interesting. No, not the giant duck-looking bird to your right that's scaring those children. Look straight ahead down the path at the man posing with a guitar, infrequently strumming the strings. What is he doing? You don't often see people out and about with guitars, especially not in the middle of a park. Let's get a bit closer and have a better look. Welcome to your second stop, Mediterranean Garden. Oh, that's why the man is posing. There's a photographer down the bottom of the stairs with a tripod and a lighting rig. How interesting. Let's walk up the stairs and see what we can find. Isn't this a peculiar looking environment? It's perfectly symmetrical, the way everything is laid out, from the cherub statues to your left and right, to all the plants. Except, what's that straight in front of you in the raised garden? Once you get to the top of the staircase, we'll go investigate. It looks like someone has decided to add to the environment. A giant kebab of sorts of multicoloured flower petals and leaves on a stick, stabbed into the ground. Isn't that wonderful? When you think of it, they are just playing their part in the development of the garden as they see fit. As nothing here was naturally occurring anyway, people are really free to manipulate the environment as they see fit for its beauty. While we are here, let's take a moment to look at the bees working hard to keep the plants pollinated and alive. Bees are wonderful creatures. As you likely know, they are the most widely utilised pollinators in our ecosystem. But they don't work alone. Other insects such as flies, butterflies, moths and beetles also share the workload with bees, but rarely share the same recognition. In fact, some plants such as the carrion flower evolved to produce an odour similar to rotting meat to attract flies to do their pollinating. When you are ready, let's go back down the steps and continue our journey through Fagan Park. Thank you for joining me as we explored Fagan Park. Feel free to come back at a later date and create your own journey in this historical environment.